After I started strength training, my life slowly began to change. Before that, my days had almost no structure. I went to bed at different times, woke up whenever I had to, and ate whatever was quick and easy. If I was hungry, I grabbed junk food. Exercise was something I planned to do, but rarely actually did. At the time, I thought that was normal. I thought I was just busy, tired, or not very disciplined. But looking back now, I can see that my lifestyle was much more unbalanced than I realized. Strength training changed that, little by little. At first, I only wanted to build muscle. I wanted to look better and feel stronger. But once I started training seriously, I learned that working out was only one part of the process. If I didn't sleep well, my body didn't recover. If I ate badly, my energy dropped. If I trained without a routine, I couldn't stay consistent. So I began to fix the basic parts of my life. I tried to go to bed and wake up at regular times. I paid more attention to what I ate. I cut down on junk food. I made exercise a normal part of my week, instead of something I did only when I felt motivated. Nothing changed overnight. Slowly, my body started to feel lighter. My mind felt clearer. I had more energy during the day, and I felt more in control. And for the first time, I realized something. Many people do not actually have a consistent routine. What surprised me even more was that many of them probably do not even think about it. They may feel tired, distracted, or low, but never connect those feelings to the way they live every day. I am not saying this to judge anyone. I can say this because I used to be that way myself. I used to think my tiredness was just part of who I was. I used to think my lack of focus was a personality problem. I used to think feeling unmotivated was simply my natural state. But in many ways, my body and mind were just responding to the life I was giving them. The difference between noticing this and not noticing it is enormous. Once I noticed it, I could no longer ignore the small choices I made every day. Sleep was no longer just sleep. Food was no longer just food. Exercise was no longer just exercise. They became the foundation of how I felt, how I thought, and how I moved through the world. Before I noticed it, I had spent years living as if none of it mattered. I kept trying to change my mood, motivation, and confidence while leaving my daily life almost the same. Sometimes I wonder what my life would have been like if I had understood this earlier, if I had cared about sleep earlier, if I had paid attention to food earlier, if I had made movement a normal part of my life earlier. Maybe I would have had more confidence. Maybe I would have made different choices. Back then, I lived as if my best years were already behind me, even though I still had time to change. Now I understand that a better life does not always begin with a huge decision. Sometimes it begins with a regular bedtime, a better meal, and the choice to move my body even when I do not feel like it. But for me, that realization came too late.